Hello students, today we'll see lesson number 26, indirect speech or reported speech. First let me ask you why we need indirect speech. Do you remember when you are asked to write a poem? You write it in such a way that you do not make any mistake. If it is a short poem of 4 or 5 lines, you may be easily able to write it. But if it is a long poem, you may find it a bit difficult. But still you are able to write it. Many a time it so happens that you have to use a comma, colon, a semicolon, exactly as the poet has written. How is it that you are able to write it? You are able to write it because you learn it by heart. But if a person speaks to you, if a person says to you using long sentences, will you be able to report these long sentences to someone else? Will you be able to report them exactly as the speaker has spoken to you? No, it is not possible. It is impossible for us to record everything that has been spoken by the speaker. And that's why we need indirect speech, where we are allowed to change some of the words of the speaker, but without changing the meaning. And that's why we have to follow certain rules. The first one is we have to go one step backward in time. It means all the present tenses change into their corresponding past tenses. The present simple changes into the past simple, the present continuous into the past continuous, present perfect into the past perfect, present perfect continuous into the past perfect continuous. And what about the past simple? The past simple changes into the past perfect. And what about the past perfect? The past perfect does not undergo any change. Not even the past perfect continuous changes into some other tenses. The past simple changes into the past perfect, and the past continuous changes into the past perfect continuous. As far as modals are concerned, will changes into would, shall into should or would, may into might, can into could. As far as pronouns are concerned, the first person pronouns like I, we, my, our, etc. change according to the subject of the reporting verb. For example, Ram said, I am going to school. Now this I has been used by Ram. And Ram is the subject of the reporting verb said. Now, when we report it to some other person, we have to change I into Ram. Why? Because Ram is not here now. It is we who are speaking about Ram. It is I who am trying to tell you what Ram said to me. And that's why I cannot use now I. I have to change this one into Ram. But again, I cannot write the word Ram. Why? Because there will be Ram already written. And so it is better to change I into he. And as far as the tense is concerned, which tense is used here? The tense used here is in the present continuous. And as I said in the beginning, all present tenses change into their past corresponding tenses. So, am going will change into was going. That is the past continuous tense. So, Ram said that he was going to school. Second person pronouns like you, your, yours, etc. change according to the object of the reporting verb. For example, Ram said to Sheila, I like your book. We have already said something about the first person pronoun. Here I will change to Ram. And your book. Ram said to Sheila, I like your book. Whose book? Sheila's book. And that's why we have to change your into Sheila's. But it is not very good to write Sheila's. So it is better to write her book. So Ram told Sheila that he liked her book. He liked her book. The tense used here is the present simple. The present simple changes into the past simple. So like into liked. As far as adverbs are concerned, there are certain changes that take place. Here into there, this place into that place, now into then, today into that day, etc. Now let's try to say something about how to change a question. There are two types of questions. A question starting with a helping verb and a question starting with a question word. Now when a question starts with a helping verb, we do not use that. When we combine the two parts of the sentence, that is the reporting verb and the reported speech, we use the conjunction if or whether. And after if or whether, we write a simple statement. So, Sohan said to her, are you going to the park? When a question is there under inverted commas, we change said, the reporting verb said, into asked. So, Sohan asked her if or whether, know that, if or whether she was going to the park. Now here it is given there, are going is in the present continuous, the present continuous changes into the past continuous. So Sohan asked her if she was going to the park. Now let us see a question starting with a question word. I said to him, where did you go yesterday? The question starts with where, a question word. And so now we cannot use that or if or whether. In this case, we can use neither that nor if or whether. But we have to join the two parts of the sentence with the same very question word given in the sentence. And after the question word, we have to use a simple statement. A simple statement means first the subject and then the verb. So, I asked him where he had gone the previous day. Now, in the original sentence, did go is given there. Did go, in which tense is it? It is in the past simple. The past simple changes into the past perfect. And that's why the answer is, I asked him where he had gone the previous day. Yesterday changes into the previous day. There are many more things that we have to keep in mind when we change the direct speech into the indirect speech. I hope you have understood something of it. To understand it better, I advise you all to go through your book minutely so that you are able to do it in a good way. You might have noticed, to change the direct speech into the indirect speech, tenses are a must. If we have not mastered tenses, we will not be able to change the direct speech into the indirect speech. So I advise you also to learn to master all the tenses. That's all for now. Thank you.